All right. Wow. We are so blessed here. We have joining us on stage Sandra Smith, co-anchor of America Reports on Fox News.
Thanks for having me, Larry.
Sandra, as always, you brighten everything up. It's good to see you. So I was going to talk to you about these expensive turkeys.
Which we will still.
And we'll get to a little bit. But the most expensive turkey of all could be John Kerry's climate reparations
You know what? I don't
scheme.
separate the two, though, because you get these apocalyptic concerns from the Biden administration about climate change and us paying our fair share as a country. No, there's no bother to tell China to take care of their business, right? We're going to take this all on ourselves. Where's the apocalyptic concerns about people not being able to heat their homes this winter? I mean, you don't have to look far. I mean, we just dug through a CNN piece a second ago who quoted person after person living off a fixed income. They're living in their retirement. They're choosing between food and fuel. Yet this is where our concerns and this is where our dire warnings are, and this is where we're focusing our attention. You've got people paying 20% more to heat their homes this winter, 20% up last year. I mean, 20%, if you don't think that's a big jump, that's on top of what they were paying last year. So when I see all this, as the Wall Street Journal wrote up this morning, basically calling the administration out on focusing their priorities on all the wrong things, they said this: poor countries have long sought to force wealthy countries to pay for the loss and damage they suffer from natural disasters that are supposedly climate related. Saying, quote, this is a separate from the $100 billion a year that rich countries have promised to help poor countries reduce emissions and adapt to climate change. To your point, they don't want to. They want cheap energy. They want cheap fuel. And we're basically telling them that they're going to get otherwise.
Actually, I think it's the crazy rich countries who believe in John Kerry's climate change radicalism, who are pushing the money to the poor countries not to buy fossil fuels. In other words, this is the same idea. No fossil fuels. Put an X through it. Instead, they'll probably want to give them renewables tax credits or something like that. They don't want that. They just want energy of any kind because they are poor countries. And by the way, we never put the $100 billion in, going back to 2015. And by the way, no matter what the number is this time, there is a new Congress. They won't put the money in either. And finally, by the way, why can't we just open the spigots to more oil and gas
It goes back to that, right?
And fracking and permitting and refining? Seriously, as you said, we have shortages in key fuel items. It's going to be expensive to drive to your Thanksgiving dinner, even though gasoline's down a wee bit. In other words, isn't that the point? How are they helping anybody with this kind of redistribution?
By the way, I think you have to look at the drop that we've seen in oil prices. First of all, acknowledge it. That's great.
Yes.
Prices have come down. We're looking at $75 a barrel. But then you have to ask yourself, why? Why is that happening? You know, I understand you're talking to traders, we're talking about, but there's also people who can't pay those gas prices. Prices have gotten so high. Interest rates have gone so high to pay for this inflation crisis that is the administration's own making with this massive government spending. And the entire goal was to cripple demand. And so you've got that starting to happen now. So while we would like to celebrate that, it is and can be seen as a sign where people are curbing demand.
We also have depleted our strategic petroleum reserves, which compromised our national security as well as our energy
and put us in
security.
a really tough position to do anything in a time of emergency and crisis.
But why should we apply the same goofy socialist redistributionism that they're pushing at home unsuccessfully to the rest of the world? Why are we leading in the wrong direction?
I think that's the question
and
everybody
what
should be
about
asking.
China and coal, Sandra? China, this model world system, model world climate change leader, is putting up 200 some odd new coal plants in the next 10 years. 60% of their energy is from coal. Why doesn't anyone call them out for that?
Now you're making too much sense. And that is the point the Wall Street Journal made today.
John Kerry never says that.
Hold on, but you know what John Kerry did say? And it was just I think it was earlier this month. Quote, it's a well-known, he was against it. It was a well-known fact that the U.S. and many other countries will not establish some sort of legal structure that is tied to compensation or liability. That's just not happening. His mind obviously changed on Thursday when this meeting took place. Okay, that's where he was earlier this month. John Kerry. China, 2/3 more CO2 than Europe and the U.S. combined. Accounts for 60%, to your point, of China's power generation. More new coal plants are set for approval through 2025 than the entire existing U.S. fleet. but yet they're not on the hook.
No, we might wind up paying them reparations.
Exactly.
You
heard it here first.
When we did the COVID bailouts, a lot of that money went to China. A lot of the unemployment compensation went to China.
Funny till it's not.
Let's just keep helping China or not. That really isn't our main intent. Seriously, is this the silliest thing you've ever heard?
Yes.
And well, last point here. Actually, there's a couple more points. Socialism is a fraud, but let me just put that aside for a minute. They want to turn the World Bank into a climate bank. They want to turn all the international development banks, which are funded by American taxpayer money, into climate banks.
Yep.
Think that's a good idea?
Yeah, and you know what? To pay for all this, what are they talking about? Taxing the fossil fuel industries more, okay? Who's going to pay for that? The American worker, the American consumer, because that's what's happening right now. And I do tie it all back to the initial story that you were having me on, these Thanksgiving prices up 20% or whatever it is. I think most people have written me today saying like they're seeing prices up a whole lot more than that for their Thanksgiving meal. The American consumer is on the hook for all this, and today we're paying for it in the form of fuel, in the form of heating our homes, whether it's your turkey prices going up. And these prices are astronomical. And I'm looking at what's happening in the Northeast right now, Larry. You've got people that are, some of these energy companies say they talk to customers who might face foreclosure because they can't afford to heat their homes. If they can't afford to heat their homes, they can't afford to pay their mortgages. And it's putting people into incredibly dangerous positions.
By the way, gas prices have come down, world prices have come down, but these home heating fuel prices, diesel prices,
pay attention.
They're all very high.
I mean, we're not even at Thanksgiving yet.
So besides, I don't know if it's John Kerry's turkey or not, but the turkey this year is supposed to be $1.79 a pound. I mentioned this with you and Bill Hemmer earlier.
It's crazy.
Last year was $1.39 a pound, it's up 28%. So there's another turkey for you to go with John Kerry's climate change turkey. And it may be cheaper. In fact, I think it's cheaper to eat out than to eat at home.
No, that's a fact.
That's not good.
We talked about that earlier. That is a fact.
People should eat at home. Families, it'd be nice to eat at home, but it's too expensive. In other words, grocery costs at home are higher than restaurant costs eating out.
And
I'm not opposed to
I hate to be
restaurants,
doom and gloom on a Thanksgiving week. You always bring things back to a bright outlook, all right?
Yeah, well.
The cavalry's coming, you're going to tell us. Okay?
At least a platoon.
No, but I think it's a serious point. People need to be hopeful, okay? And they see these prices happening. The industry gets it. Businesses get it. And you've got new control in the House. I think we should see what happens. You've got these energy groups who are clearly laying out plans to tackle this crisis.
Right.
And I think that's a big deal because Republicans weren't exactly articulate in their messaging heading into midterm elections how they're going to bring these prices down. They said they would do it. They didn't say how, a lot of them. I think that's going to be really, really important.
You know what my plan is?
What, eat turkey?
Turn on the spigots.
Turn on the spigots.
And get in your car at whatever the cost and help folks on Thanksgiving and or Christmas serve up some meals at the soup kitchens.
Amen to that. You are an incredibly generous person.
No, we're all going to do that.
And it's really
we do
important.
it. We continue to do it.
Absolutely.
Whether we have high inflation or not. Sandra Smith, the best of the best. You can catch Sandra on America Reports weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox News. Boy, she was with Bill Hemmer today. What a treat that was. Thank you very much.
We'll see you at the Christmas tree.
Oh, that's right.
You'll be out there? Okay.
I brought my scarf.